Looking down on the race for the lead at Talladega from our aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. From pit lane to victory lane, every NASCAR driver counts on Goodyear tires. Goodyear, the official tire of NASCAR. The Goodyear's under Casey Mears' machine, carrying him back to the lead as he gets pushed again by Jeff Gordon up to the front of the pack.
Casey Mears got him a good drafting partner there. I don't know if he'll look at returning the favor later on in the day. I know Jeff's hoping he will.
As Doc called him earlier, hidden helpers.
Casey Mears doing a nice job here today in that Geico Ford, though. He's really enjoys this type of racing, and I think that shows here as he's been very aggressive moving this way to the front.
Now, something else to watch for here as we close in on green flag pit stops. Drivers trying to work their way in the traffic to find a spot in that bottom lane. Because if you have to go to the pit lane and there's somebody to the inside of you, that's not going to work out very well.
Yeah, look how tight this inside lane is. If you had a pit, I don't know how you do it. I guess, pardon me, I've got to get down here. I've got to go to the pit road. I don't think they're going to let him. Yeah, and that really is why we see some accidents happen as they start on pit road, because drivers not giving good signals and the other ones knowing, being told they have to come at that moment.
Here we go. The first moves to the pit lane from out of the pack. Sam Hornish, Brad Keselowski, the Penske posse bidding together. Montoya, McMurray. Should I say the Ganassi guys? Want me to keep this going? And Brad's bunch with Bobby Labonte. All right, Vince.
There's the two of Brad Keselowski. They took right sides only the first stop. They're going to take all four tires this time. Let's go to Jerry Punch. Doc?
Jamie McMurray from 24th position all the way to the lead, and right side tires going on. Now we'll go ahead and make a chassis adjustment. Right rear, Sunoco fuel going in. Got to get it full of fuel. Want to be able to go 43 to 45 laps. Here comes the 2-car by, the 22 by, and McMurray now off the Jackson away.
And a big pack turning left for the pit lane. Mike?
And Matt Kenseth, they're going to try to fix that car up. It hasn't been handling the same since the incident where he hit the apron. They're going to make a chassis adjustment. Also on the first stop, he took no tires. This time around, he'll take 4. Meanwhile, down pit road, Kyle Busch also making his pit stop. He's been pretty happy with the car. He took 4 tires. He's away.
Well, the 21 of Trevor Bayne has a right front flat. Bayne's been strong throughout much of the day. The right front flat came in, put on 4 tires for Trevor Bayne, pulling out, having a little bit of trouble there with the jack. Doc?
Casey Kane, right side tires only. He is now down and away, so a right side tire call. Everyone else doing 4, but strategy early on for the 5-car.
More cars to the pit lane, including Denny Hamlin and Jimmy Johnson. Tony Stewart also in. Jamie?
And Denny Hamlin is in. They took 4 tires last time. Remember, he's having trouble with that mirror. He wasn't able to see out of it, vibrating so much. They're not going to try to fix it this time. Not enough time under green flag conditions. They go around 4 tires it is, Vince.
Well, you see the 88 just pulling out. They made a chassis adjustment, took right side tires only. Doc?
Right side tires only for Gordon. He tries to go out. Here comes the 88 by on the outside. Gordon pitting with Mears. Both deciding to take right side tires. And now Gordon trying to stay with Casey Mears, his drafting partner.
Kyle Busch, Trevor Bayne. Too fast entering pit road. On their green flag stops, they both owe NASCAR a pass-through penalty. Dale Earnhardt Jr. too fast exiting the pit lane. He'll have to come back in.
Too fast. You have to roll through. You have to roll through. You have to roll through next time. Time whenever works, but you need to roll through at pit road speed.
Now Junior's going to serve that penalty from the lead.
Yeah, that's just a sickening feeling as a driver that you've made that mistake, knowing here how important it is to have drafting
Roll
partners.
all the way through, all the way past the cone there, buddy. We'll be fine. We got a lot of race here.
The only only good thing he might have is some company with Trevor Bayne and Kyle Busch having to do kind of the same thing. The three of those cars make it hook up and stay on the lead lap.
Yeah, he may have to wait on them, though, because they're quite a bit farther back than he is coming off pit road. He's got a lot of momentum. Maybe they'll come together here as he gets up to speed.
So how things can change in a cycle of pit stops. Jimmie Johnson's been running around at the back of the pack all race long. He just picked up a bonus point as the leader of this race.
Yeah, they took 2 tires there, as did a number of those cars that are up front there, so kind of flopped the strategy around. They waited long enough, too, for a lot of cars to pit, which got them at the head of the field when they made their pit stop, so they weren't losing a lot of time. Very good strategy by Chad Knaus and that group.
Marcos Ambrose in the 9, heading up that outside line of cars. With Matt Kenseth and Kurt Busch and Greg Biffle right there. How do you think Kenseth is going to feel if Biffle gets back on his back bumper?
Maybe a little nervous at first.
Yeah, I know that wasn't something that Greg Biffle intentionally did by any means, but it was almost a disaster for Kenseth and possibly a lot of others if he would have spun.
Not with us earlier. Kenseth and Greg Biffle drafted to the lead. Then Biffle turned left to get back to the bottom lane faster than Kenseth did. Then Matt came across the nose of the 16 car, went for a wild ride down onto the apron of the turn 1 banking, but saved it and continued on. Dale Jr. 28 seconds behind the leader and out there running by himself after that speeding penalty.
Welcome back to Talladega Superspeedway. Race fans, check out NASCAR.com/RaceBuddy to watch coverage live from Talladega. Follow your favorite drivers for free with 8 live camera views. And as we're watching live now, it is Jimmie Johnson out front, followed by Casey Mears. A different strategy, though, playing out with the 5-Hour Energy Rapid Recap, getting us caught up in what's happened so far. Jimmie Johnson, early on with Denny Hamlin, went to the back.
Yeah, he said, I'm going to stay out of this wreck. I'm going to get to the back. I'm going to stay in the back for a while, hang out with Denny back here, just try to avoid all the stuff that might happen early.
Meanwhile, the other Hendrick teammates, Dale Earnhardt Jr., went straight to the front.
Yeah, they did. They're absolutely flying, making their way towards the front. We thought those Hendrick cars would be strong as we go throughout the day, and they're starting to flex their muscle.
Not always safe out there, though.
No, a little miscommunication between teammates there. Touch on the bumper, and what a save by Matt Kenseth.
The middle, not where you want to be. Trouble earlier for Carl Edwards and Cole Witt.
Oh, yeah, tough deal for Carl Edwards and Cole Witt. Edwards gets a car really tore up. Cole Witt is basically out of this thing. Just a miscue right there and a big wreck between those two drivers.
As you saw on the right side of the screen, nothing has changed. Jimmie Johnson is still out front. Why the change in strategy?
I really don't know why they're doing this. Jimmie Johnson's elected to start in the back and stay in the back, but through all these pit stops, he's got himself up in front right now. And he's got Jeff Gordon there, Casey Mears, Casey Kane. Ray, it looks like some of the Gordon teammates are trying to hook up right now.
Yeah, it looked like in the beginning that the 48 and the 11 car of Denny Hamlin, along with the 2 car Brad Keselowski, decided to go in the back and kind of race together. And then Jimmy got an opportunity to get with his teammates out front. The thing I'm impressed with most is how he did this on a green flag stop. Get in the back, he's up there leading the race, and he's got his teammates around him.
The 11, Denny Hamlin, still choosing to stay in the back, though.
I'll tell you, this could create problems for Denny. He got lapped last year doing this. I'm not a big fan of hanging out in the back by yourself all the time. So this is what Denny wants to do right now. It's not something I would do.
And he seems to be sticking with his strategy. But we watched him say in the beginning of the show, hey, look, I've tried it from the back. I've tried it from the front. Who knows what's going to happen? Who knows what's going to be good for him or not?
Yeah, I agree with you. And also, somebody I'm keeping an eye on was Trevor Bayne. Had a good run going early. Came down to serve a little bit of a pit road speeding violation. But when he was getting on the pit road, he locked up his tires. It looks like he may have flat spotted his right front tire. So it's somebody to keep an eye on as he kind of tries to make his way back up through the field.
What's the one thing that, Ray, you keep saying? Get out of the middle.
Yeah, you don't want to be in the middle. I know in the front you're ahead of the wrecks. In the back you've got a little ways to stop and can see them happening. When you're in the middle, most times you're right in them.
Yeah. You know, one thing we talked about early, guys, who would you draft with out there? You see Casey Mears up there. Now, Jeff Gordon's been helping him quite a bit. The day. Casey and Jeff have always been friends. They've had a good friendship, and it looks like they trust each other. So it's been Mears and Gordon all day long hooked up together. That's another person you can hook up. We talked about you use teammates, or you use friends, or you hook up with manufacturers. Obviously, Jeff Gordon has picked a friend.
And right now, those two are going after the lead, Alan.
Nicole, Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, side by side for the #1 spot in a pair of Chevrolets. Enter now for a chance to win a Jimmy Johnson personalized 2013 Camaro ZL1 plus a Daytona 500 race weekend for 2. Visit wincamarozl1.com now to enter. Matt Kenseth pushing Jeff Gordon.
Yeah, trying to get to the lead from Jimmy Johnson. They were discussing Jimmy Johnson, his strategies. I think Chad Canals had this in his mind to take those 2 tires. They waited till everybody had pitted, got themselves up there near the top 5. That allowed them to get out front. I think we will see him go to the back, though, once he starts getting past here.
Well, one thing he had the advantage of, he was one of the last cars to pit through the cycle, and Chad was able to watch what other cars did and probably saw an opportunity to take this, and it's a great strategy, like you said, and if he could stay up front, he'd probably do that, but we'll see what he does now that he's lost the lead.
The lead has been lost by Jimmy Johnson to Jeff Gordon, Doc.
Exactly. Jeff has a good race card, wanted to stay up front but not necessarily show his hand, but also knows, Alan, he needed to get up there when he had a shot and lead that valuable lap to get the bonus point. That was the first lap he had led today. He needed to be up there. Now he can stay up front and not have to push his luck here at Talladega.
300 Motorsports cars in the top 5 positions. Casey Kane there in the black and white 5 running on Jeff Gordon's back bumper. Jimmy Johnson there in that inside lane in the Lowe's 48.
And you know, Brad Daugherty's already stuck a fork in Jeff Gordon. Look at him there, 5th as they run in points. Only 35 back. And this is the kind of race that can turn it around for Jeff Gordon if some of these guys happen to have some trouble.
And of course the big question is, if we have the big one, who's in it? Who gets through it? Jeff Gordon knows if he makes it through the big one and has a good finish today, and some of those other guys at the front of the championship standings don't finish well, he could be back in it.